Party people in the place to be. Was good. Good to see y'all, man. This is what we call the Big Bossman Roundtable. Y'all know what it is. Your weekly afternoon show where the big boss man himself, comes on the channel, talks about something pressing or whatever. So without further ado, let me introduce social media's very own Woodshed 1914 is in the building. Salute, boss.
Salute, Freezy. Salute the rest of the Knicks Nation, man. It's out here. We looking good right about now, people. We looking really good, man. We looking really good.
Yeah, man. So I think we might be having a little technical difficulty with YouTube and StreamYard. I don't know if we are live on one or the other. So what I'm gonna say is what we'll do is we'll just continue on, and then if we have to, we'll upload it. We'll upload it to YouTube if they continue to have technical difficulty. But we are live on Twitch and we are live on X. So we'll just rock and roll. Bro, what's on your mind?
Man, I want to start by giving myself a pat on the back. You can give yourself a pat on the back too. When we say things on here, it's not because we're guessing or we think something may be the case. It's because we know it's the case. It's because we looked at it with our eyes. We see the numbers. So last time we were on, we said, or we talked about this mostly offline too.
If the Knicks are
they're going Isaiah Hartenstein more in the offense. Now, they need to do it even more so than they are. But in the last 3 games, he's averaging 13 points a game. And he's only taken 19 field goals, but he's made 16 of 19 field goals.
Amazing.
He's made 16 of 9. I repeat, he's made 16 of 19 field goals. And these aren't just putback dunks. These are floaters.
That's like 82%, right?
It's a historic percentage.
Yeah.
It's a historic percentage with that. And also another thing, and this is trivial. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but it is something. When he scores at least 10 points this season, the Knicks are 17-6.
Wow.
I repeat that. And this is not a player that plays mostly in garbage time. So keep that in mind. When Isaiah Hartenstein scores at least 10 points this season, the Knicks are 17-6.
Yeah.
So his ability, and that's why we say every time you watch this dude, he shows something new. And you can tell he's practicing it because that floater game is for real. It's for real. And just simply having him spot up in the mid post or near the free throw line and being able to be an offensive threat, not needing to be in a screen and roll, it changes everything.
Right.
It changes everything. It changes how teams defend the pick and roll. They can't just come out and blitz Brunson. They can't trap him off the pick and roll. They have to stay attached because if you don't, it's a floater in the lane. It's easy too.
Right.
And if you give it to Hartenstein below the free throw line, either he gonna make the float or you gonna foul him.
Yeah. Or he gonna kick out to a corner
or he gonna find it
who is not good at creating his own threes yet.
Yep.
And there's that. Yeah.
So I mean, and even if you watch the last game, it allows Tibbs to run. And I never thought I'd see. They ran a 4-out.
Yeah.
They ran a legit 4-out offense with Dante and OG in the corners and Brunson and Hart up top. That's hard to defend. That when your center is an offensive threat, that is extremely hard to defend because you got to pay attention to all 5 guys. All 5 guys. And the head of the snake is a dude that can go for 60 if you single cover.
Yep.
60. If you don't double, Brunson can score 60.
Yep.
Or he can score 40 and get 12 assists. Like either way. So Clyde brought it up, and shout out to Gus Johnson. I love when Clyde and Gus are on at the same time.
No,
And
no,
like
and no shade no shade on Mike Breen, right?
yeah, no disrespect to Breen
Right.
whatsoever. But that Clyde and Gus duo is GOAT tier.
Yeah.
But like Clyde mentioned how they're playing team ball and everybody is touching the ball.
Right.
I think the biggest difference is a willingness to say, okay, I got a dude that's almost 7 feet tall that can be an offensive threat. Let me make him a threat. And when I make him a threat, it brings a certain pull of gravity inside the paint,
Right.
which is what we've been missing with Randall being gone. We didn't have that gravity inside the paint. Now it's there. Now it's there.
Yeah.
So if you notice, that's why Jalen Brunson can score 45 on 21 shots. That's why.
Right.
Because he's either getting a 3-point shot or he's getting a clear shot to the lane because the big has to stay attached or I'm going to give up a floater every time. So those are the small things that we talked about early when the Knicks had that horrible, dreadful month of February. Dreadful month of February.
Man.
Where you had one guy, the point guard, he playing hero ball. You know what I'm saying? You got Hart playing hero ball and he's scared to shoot.
Yeah.
You got Dante saying, I'm just going to shoot threes. I'm not going to attack a closer. I'm just going to shoot threes.
Yeah.
So the OG factor is real.
May I add something to the Hartenstein thing though?
Yep.
And so so chat, when y'all watch this, you may not be watching it live. If you're watching it on replay, I kind of want y'all to comment. And it's because of a YouTube technical issue, by the way. It's not because of us. So if you got the notification like a bajillion times, it's because it's a YouTube and StreamYard issue, not us this time. But to Woodshed 1914's point, Hartenstein has embraced being the hub of this offense without Randall. And what I would like to do is ask you to imagine this for a moment. Can you imagine Julius Randle getting diagonal cuts getting passes from Hartenstein, who sucked up the defense? Now Randle is getting 1-on-1s at the rim, right? And if you try to take away Hartenstein and Randle at the rim, you have to leave the perimeter of Brunson, Dante, and OG Anunoby.
That's a problem.
That right there, my friends, is now I know on paper or on the whiteboard, so to speak, it's like it seems like the perfect scenario, right? A power forward that can bully inside in one-on-one matchups, receiving bounce passes as he cuts to the rim, with the bullying power forward having momentum going towards the rim, and 3 guys on the perimeter that can knock down spot up threes at 40% or above. I know that sounds like it's just my imagination running away with me, right? Just my imagination running away, right? And I know that's what that sounds like, right? But in basketball terms, what you call that is beautiful basketball, right? We hadn't necessarily had that. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have that with Hartenstein until he got the confidence to start doing it despite the offensive limitations. He couldn't do that with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin and things of that sort. He tried to do it with Obi, and he would consistently throw the ball out of bounds. So he had to stop doing it because Obi didn't understand when to go and when to stay, right? But if we get that when Randall returns and a top 3 defense,
and nobody wants to talk about punting to next season, but if this team was healthy, I truly believe that everyone would be saying right now the Knicks are the favorites to win the championship. This team was that good. And to your point, that's what makes what Hardenstein does so valuable is that when you have a guy in the corner, and you see Dante do it sometimes, but the thing about OG is if he's spotted up in the corner and the big has the ball, if he sees the back of his man's head, he is cutting. He is cutting every single time. And if you get Randall back and you have both of those jokers cutting, and OG ain't no small dude. OG 6'8", 235.
Yeah,
Randall 6'8",
he's
250.
no dude
Like,
now.
and you got those two monsters. When they see the back of your head, they cut into the basket, and you got a big man that's gonna find them.
Yep.
Bro, like it's gonna make the game so much easier, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna because now, and the reason Tibbs is in a good spot is he's not the coach that wants to teach you how to play the game. He don't want to. He wants you to already know when to cut,
right?
When to fake, when to kick it back out, when to drive and dish, when to drive and attempt to finish. This team, these dudes know their role,
right?
And they know how to execute it to where all Tibbs is doing is making adjustments. He's not having to put in full blown game plans. This is what we do. They got to adjust to what we do because we're damn good at what we do. And when they adjust to it, we're gonna come back and make the necessary adjustment. But that Milwaukee game, OG shot like trash. And Brunson had 40-something. But OG may have still been the most impactful player in that game.
Yep.
Because the way he defended in the second half, Giannis quit. He quit. He was like, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm done. This dude has stripped the ball from me on like 3 straight possessions. He's smart enough to go under screens and play off. I can't go through him because he's too strong. I can't go over him because he's too athletic. And I can't take the ball below my waistline because he's gonna strip it.
Yeah,
I quit.
And he was beating Giannis to those spots.
Yeah, I quit
to those spots and slowing up Giannis's momentum.
They did the same thing to Giannis that they did to Jokic. I quit.
Yeah,
I'm done. I quit.
Yeah. So,
like, this team, as long as they just stay true to themselves, man. Meaning that we know who the alpha is. We know the debate is going to be dependent on what night, what matchup we get. But we're going to have to make sure that number 55 stays a part of the offense and the ball touches his hands on every possession down the floor. Like, the sky is still the limit. Like, this team can still win the Eastern Conference.
You know what I find, though? You know what I found, though, bro? What I found is this. It's not like they don't look for Hartenstein. Hartenstein has to stay aggressive offensively.
Yep. Gotta look at the basket.
It's hard being an all-around center in this league, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have to, it's hard, bro. It's hard being a two-way player at every position, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're asked to be a high-volume rebounder, a rim protector, and a scorer, and you're a screener, and you got to bump cutters, and you got to stay out of foul trouble, and you got to block shots. It's a lot to ask in today's NBA. Most centers are going to do 2 of those things, right? They're going to be screeners and rebounders, or they're going to be rebounders and rim protectors, right? Or they're going to be offensive hubs and screeners. But you're not going to find a NBA center that's going to be all 5, 6 of those things. And I'll give an example. Rudy Gobert, right? Rudy Gobert is a defender rebounder. Don't ask him for offense; it's too much. Jokic is an offensive hub, rebounder, right? Don't ask him to be out there screening all the time because he ain't gonna do it. He'll screen, right? But he's not gonna screen as much as you see Mitch screen and roll to the rim. He's not doing that. Embiid is a jump shooting rebounder that may give you some rim protection, right? Like either if a center can do 3 or 4 of those 6 things, they're the league MVP, right? They're the league MVP. It'd be like asking, it'd be like combining Drew Holiday, Ja Morant, and Steph Curry together, right? 3 different archetypes of players all in one. You don't see that often. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know what? I'm gonna stop you real quick, and you already know who I'm talking about. We do have a center that can do all six of those things that we have never ever seen in this game before. Now, let me take that back. He can do five of them,
Right.
but when he has 10 pounds of lean muscle, it's over, and that's Wemby.
Right.
Because think about it, like we used to say all the time, man, yeah, Kevin Garnett got guard handles. Nah,
No, he didn't.
nah,
He had open floor handles.
nah. Wemby, like, bruh, he is like that. He is like that. Like, handle, shoot, screen, rebound, defend paint and perimeter.
Right.
Like, Derek Lively is another dude that's these man. Listen,
He on the way. Lively is on the way.
listen. It's some special young big men in the game right now,
Right.
and that's why I keep saying the big man is coming back.
Right.
It's coming back because it's if Kevin Durant and Rudy Gobert had a child, it would be Wemby. Like it's
right.
It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair. So I'm hoping that we can stack on something. Another name of a good big. He don't have the athleticism part to be on the perimeter, but Şengün,
Yeah.
that's another special one.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal. Like these guys, they have the same
best post player in the NBA right now.
He might be. It's between him and Sabonis. Like, though, man, listen, the big man in this league is coming back.
Right.
It's coming back. And then you got those two young 6'10 dudes over in Orlando. It's coming back.
Yeah.
So we need to go and get ours now.
Yeah.
Go and get this ring now, man. Because I haven't seen a big man with the ball skills of Wemby since Hakeem. That's the last time I seen a big man with that kind of ball skill.
Right.
Hakeem. And that's what people don't know about Elijah one. Elijah one did have a guard hand.
Yeah.
Hakeem get out there and cross over.
Right.
Like I can't remember which one of Jordan's teammates it was. They said the only player Michael Jordan ever feared was the Dream.
Was Elijah one? Yeah, I could
the
see
only one. He said, Mike, what I always say, I don't know what we're gonna do about that big African in the middle. But I didn't want to get off topic. Continue.
No. I think it's apropos because the fact that we are confident that Hartenstein can do all these things at a very low level, at a base level, and then others he can do at a very, very high level, just means that maybe Hartenstein is the future of the center position for the Knicks, but the past generation, like the past 7 to 8 years, kind of eliminated the big man from the NBA game.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe that, and I'm saying that he is a Euro style. Now, I'm not saying he's European. Right. There's a difference. I'm not saying he's European. I'm saying he plays a Euro style of unselfish basketball. Right. So that Euro style may benefit the Knicks in a way that we didn't see, or that is the future of New York Knicks basketball. Right? Because for the last 8 to 10 years, you all you wanted your big man do was be rim runners, set a screen, a hard screen to get your guard open, run to the rim. If they collapse, your guard shoots the three. If they sell out for the 3-point shooter, throw the lob at the rim. Right? It's always a 3-on-2. It's always a 2-on-1 because the screen person always eliminates one defender from the play. Right? So maybe can you see Hartenstein? Let me ask you this. Are you willing to give Hartenstein 5 years, $100 million?
Ooh. See, I'm gonna tell you, I knew that was gonna be your next question.
Right.
I'm going to say this.
That means we have a flow. Okay.
I knew that was going to be the next question.
Okay.
I'm going to put it this way. I think, and I hate to say this, I think it's going to hinge upon our success. If we go to the second round and make a game 6 or game 7, then yes, because it's going to be with him as the guy in center. I don't see Mitch really ever overtaking that spot. Just being honest.
Okay.
And what will be a result of that is, in order to get him paid, especially with the CBA changing, you're going to need to consolidate Randall, Mitch, and you probably going to have to throw Deuce in there.
Oh.
And use that as an opportunity to either A, get another wing, a 2/3, and OG going to have to man up and start rebounding and play the 4. I don't want to say this name because I don't even want to think about across the Brooklyn Bridge, but I think he would try to get a Mikal Bridges using those pieces in the gazillion picks, and then just roll with Hardenstein. Because personally, a lot of people don't. I like Jericho Sims.
Okay.
I like Jericho Sims as a backup, and he's under contract, so that allows you some flexibility to do some things. So if Hardenstein he continues to show chemistry with Brunson, continues to play the way he's playing, which regardless of whether we playing against Jokic, Sabonis, or Embiid, he don't back down. So I think that $100 million over 5 is a fair contract. You know what I'm saying? And he's still really young. I think he just turned 25. So he's just now entering his prime.
Right.
And I say that to say that there's a chance this kid may get much better than he is right now. And if he gets much better than he is right now, which is a player with a very similar start to his career, except he was more polished in the low post, was Brook Lopez.
So he'll be 26 on May 5th.
Okay. So he's about to hit his prime.
Yeah.
And I would have paid prime Brook Lopez 5 for 100 over 5.
All right.
I pay this kid that,
My only drawback to it is I believe we need to see more Hartenstein aggression. Right. I think we need to see more aggressive Hartenstein. And I don't mean just shooting in the basketball. I mean aggressive. You know how when we watching the game, Clyde would be like about Mitchell Robinson and Precious. Clyde will say, he had a shot if he only looked at the rim. How many times you hear that during the broadcast? About 5 or 6 times?
5 for each player.
Yeah, that's 20 points, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's if Hartenstein had that aggression, then, full time, I would be okay giving him, paying him the long-term deal. Right. But if the Hartenstein we're going to get is the one that is opportunistic and not aggressive, then I don't want to pay him. I don't see paying him more than $12 million. If he's opportunistic and not aggressive, I think 12 million a year is my cap. If he is aggressive going forward, I think 20 million is my cap. And I know that sounds like a wild range of $8 million, but the range of outcomes are wilder than the range I just made. Because what if he's a little aggressive but mostly opportunistic? That means he's about 10 points a game. What if he's mostly aggressive, you know what I'm saying, and then also adds the opportunistic part of it? That means that man is like 17, 18 points a game.
I mean, the question is, do you see that? You know what I'm saying? That's the question.
That's the quandary.
I love what you said about him, because they say this in the professional world a lot. I know you heard this. It's not a skill issue with him. It's a will issue.
It's a will issue.
It's not can he give you 17 points a game? It's will he? Because there's several times where he's in the paint with the ball, and the only other person in the paint is a 6'5" wing, and he's kicking it out, bro.
Deuce McBride in the corner for 3. Yeah,
I'm like, that's money time.
That's
money time.
Mouse in the house.
Right. I mean, and like you say, you got to be aggressive to the point where he can see a 6'6" dude in the paint, and everybody else is on the perimeter. And okay, I'm going after this guy. He's got to be aggressive to the point where if somebody says, "Hey, dude, I was open," I had the mismatch. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's another level for dude, man. Like, right. I think there's I don't foresee all-star, all-NBA, but I do see the level of really, 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 really good starter. Like really, really, really good starter.
Right.
So he has to continue, like you said, to be aggressive and be willing to shoot the basketball because back in the day, even if it was PJ Brown, if PJ Brown had a guard in the post, he going for the basket.
Even Theo Ratliff. Remember Theo Ratliff?
Yeah, if Theo Ratliff, Elvin Campbell, AC Green, if they saw a guard in the post, they're going for the bucket. So I mean, it's enough shots to go around. You know what I'm saying? For him to take those shots. So it's gonna be fun to see, man. And I do think that, as you said last week, this dude is a huge key to what we do. Because if we run up against Bam, Al Horford, Embiid, can he keep them honest by making himself a threat offensively? That will be a huge, huge part of whether or not we can, comfortably win that series.
Right.
Especially with Bam, if he's allowed to ignore you and roam free and injure our players, then yeah.
Bam Bigelow, yeah.
Like I told my brother, I said he might as well bring a club on the court.
May as well.
He Bam free, tripping people, stepping on ankles and groins, and you know what I'm saying, pulling people out of the air. Like, bro, this dude is he lethal, man. He lethal.
That's the Miami way, bro. That's the Heat culture.
Man, I can't say too much because it used to be the Knicks culture, man. When Pat Riley was with the Knicks, so hey, it come with the territory, man. When Mason put the black shoes on in the playoffs, you already know what time it is.
You already know. When he stopped shaving, you already knew what it was.
And I got beef with Clyde Frazier too, man. I need him to stop giving out the game plan to shut down Jalen Brunson on these broadcasts. Man. I got a problem with that. I got a serious problem with that. All you need to do is do such and such and such and such. Yeah. Trap him off the pick and roll with Torrey Craig, who's 6'7" and smart enough not to leave his feet. And then when he gets by you, knock him down. He's too loosey-goosey. All you have to do is I'm like, Clyde, chill, bro. You with us.
Clyde,
you with us. Stop giving us GOAT level defensive point guard tips on how to. You with us, bro.
Yeah.
Stop.
And the other thing too, I gotta ask Clyde to do, and Clyde is my man, right? Clyde is my favorite Knick of all time, right? Clyde, the one thing I gotta ask you to do, Clyde, and Mr. Frazier, and I'm asking you this respectfully, bro, you gotta stop wearing my great grandma's sofa to the games, bro.
Oh my God.
You gotta stay legit, you gotta relax. Yeah, yo, Clyde, I love you, brother. I love you, Clyde, right? But you gotta stop wearing my great grandmother curtains to the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love Clyde, right? I love Clyde. But the other night against Chicago, legit, I thought Gus was next to a love seat, bro. I didn't know what was going on.
Bro, like Clyde wearing the cognac pattern in 2024, bro.
Right, yeah.
I remember having cognac ties in the early 80s going to Easter service on Sunday, bro. Like come on, man. But I don't even know when that started.
Yeah, in 84, I was wearing
I don't even know when it started because he didn't dress like that as a player.
No.
I mean, he wore suits and ties and tuxedos, but he didn't wear these wild colors and patterns and wingtip shoes with alligator print and lime green on the bottom and the top is orange. Like he didn't dress like that as a player.
No.
And even when he first got in the broadcast booth, he didn't really dress like that.
Smooth. He was more smooth.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I guess that's his thing.
He would get he would wear a regular suit, and the tie would be a little bit off the rails. You'd be like, yeah, what Clyde got? What kind of tie is that? But but salute to Clyde Frazier, man, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. They say top 70. They say one of the 75 greatest. I think he's a top 10, top 12, top 15 player of all time, especially in an era that had plenty of top 10, top 15. That man played against Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, and Jerry West all in one career.
And beat them. And he beat them all.
He was beating them. This man played against Bill Russell and them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So salute to Clyde. But I got one more thing, man, just real quick. But before we get out of here, how good of a player? What's OG Anunoby's potential?
I'm one of his biggest fans. So, but I'm going to describe it this way: potentially, as far as the core skills that he has in his size, the ability, it's kind of like Hartenstein. It's not a skill issue, a will issue. The ability, he can be a Scottie Pippen-esque type of player. Not Kawhi, but Scottie Pippen-esque type of player.
Which one of those is better, Kawhi or Scottie Pippen? Just so I can have understanding of the range.
I'm gonna say Kawhi. And the reason I'm going to say Kawhi is that he's
won a championship by himself.
He won one by himself.
Yeah.
And Kawhi has kind of got that MJ type game where he can score from mid range, and that's really what separates him from a lot of guys. Now Scottie was a great player, bro. Great player. If you gave Pat Scottie, we'd have won 6 championships. But anyway, I think what his career is going to look like, though, his game, I think that he can be I think he'll be somewhere between a Kawhi Leonard and who am I missing?
So for the record, I think he's a better defender than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I think he is. I think okay.
But not on offense. Offense, he's nowhere close.
Yeah, you remember Detroit, Dennis Rodman?
Yes.
Still an elite defender.
You're talking about Worm.
Yeah, Detroit. I think it'll be something like that, man. I think because Detroit, Dennis Rodman could score. He just didn't. But I think it'll be something like that. But his ceiling, I don't really have a player comp for him per se because I don't know if he's going to be aggressive. But I think his ceiling is going to be, which is great, defensive player of the year candidate, all NBA defense when he's healthy, and potential to be an all-star. So I think accolade-wise, it's going to probably look a lot like Andre Iguodala. Almost not game-wise, but I'm saying accolade-wise as far as, being able to make an all-defensive team, being an all-star caliber player, but not staying healthy enough to get the accolades. Like, if he was healthy this year, he probably would win Defensive Player of the Year.
No doubt.
He would be first-team all-defense and Defensive Player of the Year. And that hasn't happened in New York in, 40 years?
Yeah.
And we haven't had a player lead the league in steals since
Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, Tyson. You're right. Yeah. So one time in 44 years, and I think Michael Ray was the last Knick to lead the league in steals. I think.
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Ray, which was 30 years. No, wait, it's 2024. 50 years ago. Almost 50 years.
I think it was 81.
81, 82?
Yeah, 81, 82, something like that.
Yeah. So, it's 42, 43 years. So, I mean, that's his ceiling to me, man. Like, I think player-wise, man, his ceiling will be somewhere I hate saying Tayshaun Prince because I think Tayshaun Prince could have been more than what he was.
Yeah.
But I think a player like that, a player that
Tayshaun
you
Prince
know,
was an excellent defender, though, bro. That man
absolutely,
was excellent.
Absolutely,
and guarded 1 through 3 exceptionally well. A lot of those fours back then were big physical fours, like Jermaine O'Neal, Rasheed Wallace. So he wasn't really like Tayshaun Prince was like 6'10", 210. Right? He wasn't gonna guard Sharif Abdul-Rahim. He wasn't gonna guard Zach Randolph.
Oh, let me go back. I'm gonna go back to a comp I had a year and a half ago. And this is still gonna be dependent upon whether or not he has to win. He showed it last game now. He dropped 24 points. I think not Meta World Peace, but Ron Artest.
You talking about Ron. You talking about angry
Ron. I'm talking about Indiana should have won a championship if not for Malice in the Palace Ron.
Right.
That's his ceiling to me.
Okay.
That's his ceiling to me. That Ron.
Yeah, Meta World Peace like mellowed out.
Yeah.
Meta World Peace was still a good defender, but nah, he wasn't Ron.
We talking running to the stands, Ron Artest.
We talking about the dude that threw a chair at his college coach. That Ron was unhinged.
It's heartbreaking even talking about Ron because if the Knicks had just drafted Ron, bro, and everybody says, "Oh, well, he said he got drafted to the Knicks, man. He would have been no good. He was in the club." Listen, that locker room would have kept him in check, bro.
Yeah, that locker room would have kept him in check.
Between LJ, Ewing, like they would have kept him in check, bro.
Yeah,
they would have kept because if we had him in that series against the Spurs with Spree and Houston, bro,
he'd have fit perfect, bro.
Yep, we would have been hell. We would have been hell to deal with.
Won a championship. We may have won a championship if we had somebody that could guard Sean Elliott.
Yep, I think so, man. I'm telling you. But it's those mistakes, bro, that make you frustrated with the Knicks. And here we are at the same exact crossroads, man. And we got a lot of fans that say, "Oh man, Trey Randall." Like, look, this team is a healthy Julius Randle away from being title favorites, bro.
Right. And then here's the thing that I want to impress upon. You know, we have a lot of conversations on Twitter. A lot of them I don't jump in. I still get the alerts though. Right. So I get the alerts for when Twitter. Yeah, I look at the X symbol on my phone and it's always has a little red dot by it. And I'm like, we up here talking about nothing. You know what we should be talking about, Woodshed? The fact that this team was 14-2 in January, or was it 15-2? One of those. We had a bizarre record in January, right?
It was insane.
And we were just figuring it out, bro. If those players would have entered February healthy after figuring it out, I could tell you, I would say with confidence that we would have had the same record in February. Right?
Like they could have made a run at that 1 seed. I don't think they would have got it, but they would be sitting probably at like 58 wins right now.
I think we'd probably be about 4 games behind Boston, maybe. Like, yeah, same play. Yeah, what you just said. Yeah, exactly.
They would be dang close. Bro, they would definitely have the second seed like that.
In January, they were just figuring it out. They didn't even know what they were doing. Bro, Bro, legit. Think about this. We were getting small contributions from Malachi Flynn, and we didn't even respect when we got Precious Achiuwa, we didn't even know what Precious was, bro.
Nope. And what's up with his minutes, man? Like, I don't know.
I think he frustrates Tibbs, bro. I think the same thing that happened with Spo in Miami, and the 2 coaches in Toronto that he had happens with Precious. Is a great athlete, and an energy guy, but he teases you with stuff like some nights the 3 is there, but then he'll go 10 straight nights and the 3 is not there. Right. And then other nights, his defense will look like Precious Achua type defense. Like you remember his defense on Paolo Banchero when we played Orlando?
Yeah.
Where he looked like the Paolo stopper. And then the next game, he getting backdoored on stuff. And you're like, God, Precious. You know what I'm saying? And then other nights he'll go get you 18 and 15. And then other nights, it'll be like 4 and 4 and 4 fouls. And then other nights against dominant bigs, he'll have 5 blocks. And then you'll play a team like Chicago with no dominant big. I mean, scoring wise, no dominant big. And he'll get swallowed up and disappear.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point.
And there's no shade on Precious. It just means it ultimately, until Precious gets a consistent jumper, right? Until he gets a consistent jumper, until his handles get consistent, and until they play him at the 4 and not the 5, this man is always going to be situational. And the sad part about it, Wood, is I like Precious a lot. I love him being here.
So I mean, what they gonna do with him? Because
nothing. His contract gonna expire, and he gonna go sign somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You could think about this. Do the Knicks need to sign a backup 4 to a long-term extension?
Nah, they don't.
No, because now the future of their bench right now is Deuce, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, right?
Yeah.
That's the future of their bench right now. They can find that the 9th guy in their rotation from anywhere. Because their starters on paper right now going forward, the future is Brunson, Dante, OG Randall, Hartenstein, off the bench, Mitch, Josh Hart, Deuce, right? They don't need, in theory, a backup power forward. What they need is a guard to play with Deuce McBride on that second unit.
Yeah, and the Knicks have to. We got to stop paying backups, man. And I'm not saying the bench doesn't matter, but we got to stop. Like we got a $22 million guy in Bogdanovich. I don't think he's gonna be in the playoff rotation. I'm gonna go and tell you. I don't. I don't think he's going to be in the playoff rotation. Not that he doesn't deserve it. He's a good player. But I don't, because of the needs that we have and the way we have to win these games, because I don't know where he's going to fit, because Tibbs going to play Josh 40 minutes. Yeah. So I don't know where he's going to play.
Right.
I don't.
Can I tell you what I think the solution is going to be? It's going to sound crazy. Right. But I'm going to predict the future. I'm good at it. Right. I'm good at it. I'm good at predicting basketball future. Now, finances, consult a professional, right? But what I'm going to say is this. I think in the offseason, the next major trade is going to be Bogey to Toronto for Bruce Brown. I think that's the move, right? Bogey and something to Toronto for Bruce Brown. So what they'll do is the Swiss Army knife that they've always been looking for, right? The guy that can do multiple things is going to be Bruce Brown. His money and Bogey's money match up, right? You give Toronto a sweetener. Now your bench next season is Deuce, Bruce Brown, and Bruce Brown, ironically, will be the ball handler on that second unit, the primary ball handler, with Deuce getting some duties, but getting a lot of spot-up three-point opportunities. His primary job on that unit is to defend. Josh Hart, and then Mitch off the bench. And then what you have in that unit of Deuce, Bruce Brown, Josh Hart, and Mitch is a lockdown defensive unit as your second unit.
Yeah. I mean, that can work.
Wouldn't it be better if we just went out and traded for Spider, though?
That's the move, I think, man. I think that's the move. The only question is, do we have, now that we don't have those young players, do we have what? Well, I mean, I hope it's gonna be on him this time. I'll put it that way. It's gonna be on him this time. He gonna have to basically say through his representation, I'll only extend with the Knicks.
Yeah.
The only team I plan to extend with is the Knicks. If you trade for me, that is fine. I'm gonna find a way to sign with the Knicks in 25.
Right.
I'm gonna find a way. And like
who are you trading for Donovan Mitchell, bro?
That's the question. If you asked me this, 4 months ago, I'd be like, we're gonna trade Barrett, Quickly, McBride,
Grimes,
and Grimes, and four unprotected. That's what I would have told you.
Yeah.
6 months ago. But now, I mean, I don't. For a team in Cleveland that's going to want to still be competitive and try to go out there and win, I just don't see what we have on our roster that's going to entice them.
I got somebody. I got somebody that I think they might be interested in.
I mean, McBride would be great with Garland. He'd be excellent next to Garland.
Yeah,
I
hate to say
I don't know.
I hate to say it, and they don't really even need him, but I think it's gonna be Mitch and Bogey.
Yeah.
Donovan, let me ask you this, just off the top of your head, how much money a year do you think Donovan Mitchell makes?
Right now, he probably make it 37, but he's gonna be eligible for probably dang near double that. So probably 37.
So he make 34.9. So he makes 34.9 right now. Right. I mean, I'm talking about next season. Next season he'll make 34.9. Right. Mitch and Bogey gets you in the neighborhood. I think Mitch and Bogey gets you in the neighborhood of about 33. I don't want to trade Mitch. I don't want to trade Mitch.
Man, listen. I'm sorry, bro. And I got love for Mitchell Robinson, man. But in that trade, he got to go, bro. And I'm gonna give you even further. Pretty much in any trade this summer, he got to go, because at this exchange, he's an expensive backup, bro. He's an expensive backup, and I can't justify it. No. Let me digress a little bit. He's on a still of a contract. His contract goes down, so
right.
I think it goes all the way down to 12. So it's not really a money thing, but if I'm bringing in Spider, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I think we can find another big that's solid, good to solid on the defensive end that can play 14, 15 minutes. I do believe that. Yeah. So I don't want to trade Mitch either, but if I'm bringing in Mitchell, which pretty much would guarantee me a championship, I do it. I wasn't alive the last time they won a championship.
Yeah, man. I was.
My pops was probably in the club somewhere the last time they won a championship.
Yeah, man.
I'm just being real. I mean, so I'm with you. I don't want to trade him, but with the makeup of the roster, now that we with the OG trade, we have to. Unless you're gonna sign and trade OG? Shit. Nah. I mean, that's the only other possibility, man. You don't sign and trade OG.
Think of all the salary we shed, though. Think of all the salary. So this year we'll probably shed RJ's salary. We'll probably shed Bogey's salary. We shed Fournier's salary, right? So in theory, what we'll be looking to do is shed enough salary where we can go out and get that guy. Like all of those contracts I just mentioned, all of them were $20+ million. Now, with that said, you're going to want to re-sign OG to like $30 million or so. That means you have the operating room to bring in another guy, like at $35 million. But the thing is, in a trade with Cleveland, we can absorb that salary because we may have the room, right? We may have the room. Right. The thing about it is what does Cleveland want?
That's the question. At this point, we don't know, because they ain't gonna want to. They're not gonna want to blow it up. They got a young team.
Yeah. But what it does do, though, when Cleveland sheds that spider money, it gives them money to bring in a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or a few guys, right? The money, it's like that term Miami. Like money is a major issue. That's what people say. That's what Miami stands for, right? Money is a major issue, right? The thing with that is if the Knicks take that money from Cleveland, that means Cleveland has a slot for that money, right? So they can do another trade, bring in a guy. Who knows? Maybe the fit is Tyler Hero, right?
Yeah.
Like the 3-team trade that we talked about before. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the fit is Tyler Hero in a 3-team trade, right?
Yeah. And I think that'll be ideal. And it's really gonna happen. And the one team that will be open for business when it comes to that is gonna be Chicago. And I can see a 3-way trade where probably Levine goes to Cleveland, Donovan to Knicks, but I definitely think it'll be a 3-team trade because I don't and just looking at our roster, I don't see how we can get that done.
I think it's
I don't.
easy. Once we move Bogey, bro, that's $20 million. Right now,
Yeah,
now think about it. You moved Bogey and Fournier, right? You moved, in theory, you swapped contracts, right? Bogey for Fournier, right? So that slot that was Fournier's money or Bogey's money now, if you move that in a deal to say a team that needs to meet the salary floor, like Charlotte. Say you trade Bogey to Charlotte for Trey Mann or something. You know I love Trey Mann, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. But my thing is this. I think the Bogey bargaining chip is a lot heavier and sweeter than we think it is. The only thing though is we gotta move while the iron is hot. We can't, because nobody's gonna want during the season, nobody's gonna want a 35-year-old wingman, right? On a second unit. Nobody's gonna want that. So you gotta strike while the iron's hot with that. But the Knicks have options, bro.
Yeah. And I think that it's unfortunate that Bridges is with Brooklyn because ideally he would be the perfect fit for this team. And the reason I say that is from a chemistry perspective because he and Brunson had a relationship where it's like, nah, bro, it's my night. I'm 6 for 9 in the first quarter. It's my night. Right. Whereas I don't say it will be friction with Donovan and Jalen, but it would be a small degree of figuring each other out to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Because without a doubt, this is Jalen Brunson's team.
Okay.
But when you bring in a player that's done it as good and longer than he has, I mean, and I don't care about Brunson being twice in playoff. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Donovan Mitchell has been the centerpiece of a franchise in Salt Lake City and made that franchise highly competitive and playing into the playoffs. Everywhere he's been, the team has been in the playoffs, right. and he's been leading. So you know he's done it as good and longer. So that's where your coaching comes in. So I don't think it'll be problematic. I think it just may take them a couple weeks to get it figured out. But at that point, you got 2 dudes in the backcourt that can give you 50.
Right.
I don't know how you stop that.
I think Tom Thibodeau turns one of those dudes into the league MVP.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
You see it happening with Jalen Brunson right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And yes, and for those that think there are not enough basketballs to go around, we got to relax. Because we have dudes on this team that don't want to shoot, that are being forced to shoot in order to make defenses pay. Right? There are times when Josh Hart touches the ball, you know he does not want to shoot. There are times that Hartenstein touches the ball, you know he don't want to shoot. Right? The thing is with that is you don't force guys to do things that don't come naturally. Like for instance, who would you rather have taking 20 shots a game And who would you rather have taking 10 shots a game? Would you rather have Dante DiVincenzo taking 20 shots a game? Or would you rather give those 20 shots to Spider and let Dante take 10? The answer to that question should be fairly simple.
It's simple, man. It's simple.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Simple.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? I think a familiar name that we talked about earlier is going to come into play. And he's not Spider, but he is as close as you're going to get without having to send out crazy packages. And that we're going to circle back around to DeJounte Murray.
Bradley Beal. What? You say DeJounte Murray?
Yep, DeJounte Murray. I firmly believe if they had pulled the trigger on that deal this year, we would have won the championship. We would have won the championship this season.
Yep.
This season. That dude is a Celtic killer.
Yep.
He is a Celtic killer. So that's another option that they can revisit in the offseason, because I don't think that it will be anything like his pairing with Trae Young, because the thing about Jalen is Jalen will get a ball up. He'll get a ball up. Trae is not effective unless he has the ball.
Right.
And that's the difference between the two. Jalen will willingly get a ball up and, play off the ball. Come on, hell, I even seen Jalen set screens. Trae ain't going to do that.
Trae Young ain't set no screen.
He ain't going to do that. But that says a lot about this team, though. But, yeah, it's plenty of options, man. I think this season the goal and the standard, even with the injuries, the organizational standard should still be Eastern Conference Finals.
Should be. Yep.
It should be Eastern Conference. Not that we should get there, but the standard should be, okay, we made it to Game 6 last year. This year the standard is to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
And I think that they have enough on this roster to do that unless OG goes out again. There's enough to do that. But are dudes going to shrink again when the playoffs start? Or are they going to show up? That's the question.
That's
the question.
All right. Man, this hour went by fast, bro. I thought we was going to do like 10 minutes. I thought we was going to be like, but that's what it is when you have so many things to talk about, man.
Yep.
You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I'm out, man. I'm watching. I'm just watching how this thing play out. We got these next 3 games. The Knick fan in me is hoping Boston says, you know what, let's just rest our players so we can get an easy W, and then we can beat Brooklyn and we can beat Chicago. When we get to that magical number of 50, which would be, to me, should put Tibbs as coach of the year, to have all these injuries for 2 months and still win 50 games.
Right.
But I think they're going to try and test us out that game. I think Porzingis will play. I think Holiday will play. I think Tatum will play. I think Brown will play.
Man, Boston going to come out. Man, Boston going to try to make us the ball on the windshield. But let me.
That's what's going to happen, I think.
All right. Before we get, I just want to say this. So Arkansas sucks, right? Arkansas doesn't have a rich basketball history, right? Arkansas is probably, in the grand scheme of things, and I'm an SEC fan, right? So go Gamecocks. Like somebody give the Gamecocks credit. The Gamecocks credit not only for girls women's basketball, but for men's basketball as well, right? In my mind, Arkansas is the 6th best team in the SEC West when it comes to basketball history, right? Beneath Auburn, right, who had Chuck Person, Charles Barkley, Wesley Person, Chris Morris, beneath Mississippi State, right? Behind Texas A&M, maybe. Clearly they are not Alabama basketball, right? They are not. When it comes to SEC basketball, you know what you think of when you think SEC basketball. You think about teams that have the number 1 pick, right? You think about the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, Doug Collins out of the University of South Carolina, right? You think about Anthony Edwards, University of Georgia, right? You clearly think about the SEC East. But I wanted to bring this up with Woodshed to see now that they have a decent basketball coach for the first time since 1995. I wanted to get his feelings on where Arkansas basketball is.
Man, I think we're going back to the top. I mean, I'm just being honest. I think we're going back to the top. And just to be honest,
bro, Clint McDaniel not walking through that door, bro.
I will be honest. Here's the thing about this Calipari situation. We literally have 0 players on the roster. All the players that were on the team have hit the transfer portal. Every single one. Right. And then on top of that, all the McDonald's All-Americans we had committed, they decommitted and asked to be released in the letter of intent. So you're giving John Calipari, they said he's getting a minimum of $5 million to spend on NIL. A minimum of $5 million.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Welcome to the 21st century.
I'm telling you. It's a reason that we don't we don't have a team. Like we literally don't have a team. And you go look at this DraftKings odds, they're 14th to win the championship. You look at the preseason rankings on CBS, they got us at 20th with no team.
Right.
Think about that. That's the Calipari effect. So the dead period is over tomorrow.
Okay.
It's funny to me because Kevin Knox's little brother, Carter Knox, he coming. And he's a 5-star recruit. All them Kentucky commits, with the exception of the one kid that's from Kentucky, they coming. Okay. Then Cal got $5 million to spend in the transfer portal to get AJ Storr from Wisconsin. You may take a swing at the big man out of Arizona, like
they may
Big Z.
They may get the dude from Duke that just entered the transfer portal.
Yep. Big Z from Kentucky. They say he may hit the portal. I'm telling you. Listen, I know Musselman made a couple of Elite Eights 2 or 3 years ago, but this dude.
Yeah, y'all will be 25-10. Y'all will probably lose 16.
This dude, he might win one. I'm just gonna say he may win one.
He can't win championships at Arkansas. That's what I was told.
Hey, he may win one.
Okay.
Hey,
all right. Well, hey, that's all I got. What I wanted, the NFL draft is in what, 10 days?
Yeah, it's on.
Thursday after next or something.
Let me see. Is it 20? I think it's a 20. Hold on. Let me ask Google. Because I thought it was done.
Is it the 28th or the 21st?
I thought it was the 27th. I'm tripping. Hold on. The NFL draft is the 25th through the 27th. So we got 2 weeks and 1 day. So it's 15. The Thursday after next.
So we got 15 days for y'all New York Giants to draft another random off the radar college quarterback that looks like Eli Manning.
I'm gonna be sick, and I'm glad Kurt Warner said it because Kurt Warner went on the Giants Huddle podcast with John Snell. We need to get him on the show, by the way. And Kurt Warner said he was going through the quarterbacks, and he agreed with a lot of what me and you talked about. He said Michael Penix to him is clearly number 2 in this draft.
Clearly,
because he has some issues with that intermediate stuff from 10 to 15 yards, but he said he stays on schedule.
Right.
He like if you watch Jaden Daniels film right now, you can have them playing a cover 4 off coverage, smash concept with the hitch on the outside and a post and a corner route from the number 2. If that corner is 10 yards off, what you gonna throw every single time?
Every time, bro. Get them.
You're gonna throw the hit. You're gonna throw the hit every single time until the corner comes up. You'll see Jaden throw the hitch, and you're like, okay, good. He reading defenses.
Right.
Then the next play, the corner's still 10 yards off. It's 1st and 10, and this time he either scrambles or throws the corner out. When the hitch is right there, can easily run. Like it's that kind of stuff that makes you say, Whereas Michael Penix is going, okay, I'm gonna hit the hitch. 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 The moment you go cover 2,
both of those guys have top 10 receivers, by the way. So it's not even a talent issue. Penix has Roma Dunze, and Daniels has Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm conflicted. I know we got to go, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm conflicted. The Giants need a quarterback bad. I love Marvin Harrison Jr., but Malik Neighbors is a 6 foot, 200 pound version of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
4'3", 42-inch vertical.
Yeah.
At 200 pounds,
And
clocked it like
and
and strong as a bull, bro. Like
right.
this dude is generational.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, man, we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. But this kid, it would not surprise me if the Chargers take him over Marvin Harrison.
It wouldn't surprise me either. My only thing with the Chargers, I think if I'm Harbaugh, and I know the Chargers can't do it, but if I'm
They
them,
need a tackle.
if I'm them, I'm trading Justin Herbert to the highest bidder.
I would trade him to New York.
Ironically, I would trade him to the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
To move up to 2.
Get that second pick. Yep.
And get the quarterback type, the archetype that Jim Harbaugh likes, right?
Yeah.
That, and I don't want to say his name because I know YouTube is going to ban us as soon as I say Colin Kaepernick. I already know they're going to flag the, you know what I'm saying? People hate Colin Kaepernick for some reason, but get that Colin Kaepernick style quarterback that's more accurate, more pocket presence, more polished than Colin Kaepernick was when they were making their run to the championship. And I'll say this, and it may seem crazy, but Daniels may be a better runner than Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah,
you know that game against Florida, bro. He looked he looked like, bro. No lie, he looked like a video game player.
He split the safeties, bro. Yeah, bro. He split the safeties. When you can break up the middle and split the safeties, that's track speed. But I'm gonna tell you something else. The Giants clocked Michael Penix at a 4.46. Yeah. I mean 4.47.
Right.
And I said this at the start of the year, and people laughed. I said, I'm telling y'all, Michael Penix to me is going to be a left-handed Lamar Jackson, because the difference is Penix can run. If you don't believe me, go watch his tape in Indiana before he went to Washington. Penix can run, and I'm telling you, he looks like Michael Vick and a Lamar Jackson type quarterback. If I'm the Giants, I'm taking him at 6.
If I'm the Giants, I'm taking them at 33. Right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to say to you. I think Michael Penix Jr. is this generation's version. And when I say his name, you're gonna laugh, but just bear with me on it. I think he's this generation's version of Donovan McNabb, Jeff Garcia.
Man, right? Okay.
Right, Donovan McNabb, Jeff Garcia. I always felt like both of those guys were the same type player. The guys that stay in the pocket but can run and hurt you with the run, right? Because some guys can run and pick up like the 4 yards for first down. McNabb could break off 70. The only reason why McNabb don't have more touchdown runs is because carrying that 240 was kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this with him. I think he don't have the rocket arm like Dante Culpepper. You remember Dante Culpepper? He don't have the howitzer that Dante has, but Penix Jr. will read Penix will read your take a look before the snap.
Yeah, that's exactly what Kurt Warner said. Kurt Warner said of all these QBs, he is the only one that I can watch and tell that he is diagnosing pre-snap.
Yep,
he is diagnosing pre-snap, and he knows when to throw. He knows when to throw high. He knows where his number 2 guy is at, and anything above 15 yards, dude, is money.
Right,
dude, is money. But I would be afraid to try and get him in the second round or trade back simply because. Now here's the only scenario where you may be able to get away with that.
Sean Payton is not going to let him go past.
He's not.
Denver don't have a second round pick, so they can't
Nope.
afford to let Michael Penix pass.
And if not, the Raiders gonna take him at 13. Here's the only scenario, and you got to be careful because a team can still move ahead. If you're the Giants, a win-win would be Minnesota, who you know wants a quarterback, and say, look, instead of y'all trading the 4, we'll give you 6 if you give us 11 and 23. You may be able to get Penix at 11, and then at 23. You may be able to get Keon Coleman on wide receiver out of Florida State. But my problem is this Malik Neighbors kid, I'm telling you, he is Tyreek Hill in the 6 foot, 200-pound frame.
Right.
I mean, he listen, I see him line up against cornerbacks like Kool-Aid McKinstry and those boys.
Yeah.
He's running
ground at the snap. They were giving ground at the snap. They were already showing a butt to the sideline.
Out of the back pedal.
Yep.
And he runs right. I mean, it's just like Tyreek Hill. Like, bro, like you can play 15 yards off and he can still run right by you.
You know what?
Right by you.
He reminds me of I get you say Tyreek Hill, but I think he's the second coming of Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep.
I think we on his route running in hand.
Yep.
I think his toughness. His toughness is his number one trait, right? Because he's like a bowling ball. He's super tough, right? But at the same time, I feel as if his route running and hands will be the separator. And once he catches it, like Odell Beckham, then you see the track speed.
Yeah, and I will be honest, he can have an Odell type impact on that team,
right?
Because even if you look like. If you see what Justin Jefferson is doing, what Jamar Chase is doing, as a prospect, he is head and shoulders above both of those dudes.
Yeah.
Because he's bigger than Chase with more speed, and he's the same size as Jefferson with more speed. Like I'm telling you, this dude, man, listen, the Cardinals may keep that pick and say, look, man, we taking Neighbors. I'm telling you, this dude, I'm glad you said Odell because I ain't want to be the one to say it because I'm a Giants fan. They say I'm a homer if I say it, but I think that's the type of impact that he can have.
Y'all trading Odell Beckham was if you know after y'all traded Odell Beckham, the team was trash after that.
Yeah, it was. I will never. Hey girl, I'll never forgive them for that trade. They just signed the dude to a big contract.
Right.
I thought nobody.
You can have that. But I do think he can have an Odell type impact. Just like Odell would run past everybody on the field.
Right.
This kid can, I'm telling you, he can do the same thing.
Right.
Same thing.
And it'll be amazing how a Malik Neighbors can turn 2 first-round busts, right? The right tackle and the quarterback. It'll be amazing how adding talent to a team devoid of talent, how it makes all the other first-round picks look.
And I'm gonna tell you, we need a quarterback, and by some miracle, maybe they can get Penix in the second round. But if they take Neighbors, I can't get mad. I can't get mad. I would hate the fact that we got the same murky quarterback situation. You got Drew Lock and Daniel Jones, but if they take this kid, I cannot get mad. I seriously see a scenario. The Chargers need a tackle, but I see a scenario where the Chargers take Neighbors instead of Marvin Harrison Jr. And then if you're the Giants, you're like, dang, but Marvin Harrison Jr., he's looked like AJ Green. So he might be a generational type wide receiver too. You got Rome O'Doones, who look like Larry Fitzgerald. So you got 3 borderline generational wide receivers, and you're New York Giants. If you can't get Caleb, which you ain't getting, Jaden Daniels, which you ain't getting, or Drake May, which you have to give up half the team to get. If you can't get either of those 3, you either take a chance of getting Penix later, but I don't think you can pass on 3 generational type wide receivers. I just don't.
Can I put a fly in the ointment real quick? I think the Giants are going to draft JJ McCarthy, and y'all are gonna start flipping tables and throwing chairs Because you get like, how many of these dudes are we gonna take? How many of the pseudo athletic, you know what I'm saying, good pedigree? He plays the game the right way. He's a team guy. He's an excellent leader type guys that y'all gonna take, right?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm glad you said that, bro. Not to cut you off. Let me tell you what Kurt Warner said because I forgot to finish that. Kurt Warner said John Smith asked him about J.J. McCarthy, and he said, "I think he's a decent college quarterback." And he said, "I don't see anything on his tape that makes me say this guy can be special."
That's exactly why the Giants gonna take him, bro.
But he has it. He has the pedigree.
That's the reason why the Giants gonna take him, bro. The Giants love taking
he fits the mold.
Jeff Rutledge. They love taking the Jeff Rutledge type quarterbacks, bro.
He fits the mold.
Jeff Hostetler's. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, Kerry Collins got beat up in his own locker room, man.
Yeah.
We know why. We know why his teammates didn't like him.
Yeah.
We know what kind of dude he was. And the Giants still had him as a starter for 4 years.
Yeah.
And wanted to keep him. And wanted to keep him. They wanted to keep Kerry Collins. Everybody said, we need a tackle. We need a tackle to protect Kerry Collins. Ernie Corson said, man, damn that.
Yeah,
I got this kid named Manning in the draft. I'm going to get him.
Right.
I'm going to get him. Regardless of what y'all think, we getting him.
Yeah.
And he almost had to trade OCM and Yor, and Ernie was like, do it.
Right.
But they end up not having to. So, but I don't feel that way about J.J. McCarthy. I don't.
Bro, the Giants love that. The Giants love that type quarterback, bro. Bro, Kent Graham, Dave Brown, Jeff Rutledge, Jeff Hostetler. They look. Oh, y'all even brought in David Carr. David Carr played more seasons with the Giants. He
was the backup on the Giants for like 7 seasons. He was there with Eli. He was there with Eli from like 2006 to like 2012 season. Like he was there forever.
Athletic quarterback that looks more like a right fielder type, a center fielder type guy. You know what I'm saying? Look good, very photogenic, bro. Y'all love that guy. The dudes y'all love them. Instead of going like the answer to the question is Malik Neighbors and Michael Penix, right?
Yeah, if you could find a way and I mean, if Neighbors goes early, I would be torn between O'Dunes and Marvin Harrison, bro. But you can't. Basically, Neighbors will be the guy if you take a wide receiver. Any of the 3 gives you a legit number 1 out the gate.
Bro,
so
did you hear the Malik Neighbors quote about the Giants quarterback situation?
Oh yeah, he didn't tell no lies.
Yeah,
he didn't tell no lies.
Daniel Jones is bro. Eli Manning is the same type quarterback, bro. People forget Eli Manning used to run at Mississippi, bro. I watched Eli Manning used to scramble, bro.
Yeah, they won 10 games.
Yeah, Eli man, Ole Miss, man, he used to run at Ole Miss, bro. I remember Eli, bro. Yeah, I mean, people think, well, anyways, the Bears, my Bears have the number 1 pick, so we'll get it right for you. What we'll do is show y'all how to do it. We'll draft Caleb number 1 and draft Rome Odunze at 9, right?
I know that's what y'all hoping for. But what they need to do is take Dallas Carter. That's what they need to do.
Nah, Atlanta gonna take him at 8.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah, because they said as soon as they signed Kirk Cousins, I was like, yeah, they don't need a quarterback, bro. They going straight defense because they got all the weapons. They got Drake. They have the tight end. They have a running back. They just
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So they're gonna take a defensive player, bro. But I know what. So what y'all are probably gonna do, and it'll make sense on paper, but it won't make sense in real life. What y'all will probably do is at 6, y'all are gonna draft Joe Alt to replace the tackle that y'all got right now that y'all don't like, and then at 33, y'all are gonna draft probably Keon Benjamin out of Florida State, a big physical receiver that's not fast, but sure-handed, and then y'all gonna complain all season that y'all can't run the football and y'all can't stretch the field.
Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That would be the worst. Like people, what gets me is people saying, "Oh, they made trade." I'm not trading up for no McCarthy, bro. I'm not.
Nah, y'all gonna draft him at 6.
I'm not like. And I look at his tape and I said, "Let me get this kid a fair chance." And I watched it, and there are some nice throws in the intermediate between 10 and 15 yards. Some very nice throws.
Very scripted play
But
call for him.
It's the passing concepts that they ran. A lot of it was timing based. Like, okay, this guy's a 4-star senior wide receiver. I know he's going to be there, but it's a lot of throws. And they always talk about how good he is in the red zone. I'm looking at half of those throws like that's picked off in the NFL, bro.
Yeah, and don't be talking to me about Danny Cannell type throws. You remember that quarterback Danny Cannell from Florida State, where he had so many weapons, it was like almost embarrassing. They was like, yo, he could just close his eyes and throw it downfield, and Peter Warwick or Tamrick Vanover or Snoop Menace or Kevin Knox or any of them guys, they just gonna run to the football, get it, and take it to the house.
Yep, Laverne Coles, Peter Warwick.
Yeah,
Snoop was a dog. But you know who really was the biggest fraud was Chris Winkie. I thought Chris Winkie was amazing.
Nah.
I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
And when he got to the league, he got exposed in training camp. They said this dude can't play.
He tried.
He can't play.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me the pseudo-athletic quarterback, good-looking guy, good pedigree, great leader, knows how to play the game the right way, dude, is trash in the NFL? I mean, he as soon as you hear people say he plays the game the right way, in my mind, you're like, I'm just want to make a white boy rich. That's what I hear. When he plays the right way, he's a leader.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come on, dog.
And the reason I think it's a chance the Giants may try to get Penix. They were kind of avoiding him to begin with, but they did show up to his pro day. And the thing that people got to understand about the Giants, it's stupid, but they put a lot of weight in the Senior Bowl. They put a lot of weight in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And their quarterback coach, who was the OC in the Senior Bowl, his quarterback was Michael Penix. So they know this kid. They know this kid. And I think that the only thing holding him back is the injury history. But I mean, he's been healthy for
so why don't y'all trade up to number 1? Y'all know y'all have a problem figuring out. Why don't y'all trade up to number 1? Give us 2 first-round picks, the Thibodeau kid and the Lawrence kid, and y'all can have the number 1 pick.
That's what it would take, but they ain't gonna do it because you know they made that Brian Burns trade. So, which I mean, it's still of a deal because the Panthers, they got a phone call from the Rams and they offered 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and they said, "No, we good." And then they commenced to solidify Caleb Williams to the Bears and end up trading him for a second. So
yeah, it is what it is. But
yeah.
It's gonna be April is gonna be a very fun.
Gonna be a good month
to watch sports if you like watching sports across the board. But anyway, bro, thank y'all everybody for watching, checking us out. I'm sorry we couldn't do it live on YouTube. What I'll do is download it and then post it to YouTube for everybody to check out. So keep an eye out for that and everything. Wood, you got anything to share with everybody before we get out of here?
Man, pray for your Knicks that everybody stays healthy from this 4th so we can go on and win this Eastern Conference, man.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.